Hey guys, do you ever felt like you just got some money but it's already gone suddenly? Seriously, that's so me guys. Why? Look at this. This. Oh my god, you're so broke! You were poor! What?
Yeah, so I don't even realize where my money goes to.
Well, that's a small example of the economic burden. How we talk about the economic burden? Interesting! Let's go!
Okay.
So, we're going to talk about the economic burdens. For me, it's a really serious topic because it's a very difficult, but for me, honestly, I think it's something that we all experience in our daily life, right?
I feel that see. Yeah, that's true. Even as student, we can feel it. Like everything is getting more expensive lately. That's true. Even the small things like food, transportation, or even like we have to online shopping, it's all adds up.
Yes. Well, before we go deeper, what do you guys think about the economic burden actually means?
Mm, for me, it's when people feel pressure because their expenses are so high compared to their income. Oh, yeah, I am agree. If your money doesn't cover your everything you need, so you feel start to
Struggling.
struggling, right? Messed up.
Same here. I think it's not just about the money, but the stress that comes with it. And everything we need money.
Yeah, I agree. See, okay. Because basically, all thing in this world needs money, right?
Yes. So, what do you guys think causes these economic burdens?
I think one big factor is inflation. The prices keep going up, but income doesn't always increase. True, and I think unemployment also plays a role too. If people don't have stable jobs, it's hard to manage their expenses.
Yeah, I think so, but I also think these causes comes from how people manage their money. Like sometimes someone spends too much or someone doesn't budget properly.
Yeah, that's true. Some people rely too much on lunch or credit,
Ah, that's great.
especially now. Online loans are so easy to access. People can borrow money quickly and it can become a problem later.
Yeah, so the causes can come from both sides, like the inflation or how people manage their activities and like their personal habits. So, how do you guys think this economic burdens affect people?
Honestly, I think the biggest impact is on mental health. Financial stress can make people anxious all the time. Yeah, and it can also affect to relationship. Like people might be argued to their family because of money problems.
That's true. Money issues can make a bigger tension, especially when we go home really tired from work or everything.
So I think it affects education. Some students might not continue their studies because of financial problems.
And healthcare too. Some people delay going to doctor because it's too expensive.
Yeah, that can make the condition even worse. Like, that's really sad about.
It's really sad reality.
So, what can be done to reduce these economic burdens?
Hmm. From the government side, I think they should provide support like subsidies or financial aid.
Oh, I agree, and they can also create more jobs opportunity, and so people can have stable incomes.
Yeah, job opportunities are really important.
Yeah.
For individuals, I think financial awareness is key.
Hmm.
People need to learn how to manage their money better.
I'm basically agree, like budgeting, saving, and controlling spending, right?
Yeah, I think it's also important to have emergency fund so we don't really surprised or we are prepared when we need to spend our money for emergency situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good point. Even saving a little money regularly can help.
Also, people should be more careful before taking a loan. Right.
Yeah, I think they need to think long term, not just short term needs.
Yeah, true.
So, to sum up our discussion, the economic burden happens because of things like inflation, unemployment, and also personal financial habits.
Yeah, and it affects many aspects of life, like mental health, relationship, education, and healthcare.
But there are solutions, right? From government and from individuals.
Exactly. If both sides work together, I think the problem can be reduced.
Yeah, I
That's true.
totally agree with you.
Same here.
Hey guys, what are you doing here? Can I join you?
Hi,
Hello,
Ale. Of course, of
No,
course.
I'm working on an assignment.
Me too.
Okay. Anyway, it's been a while since our last discussion, right?
Right.
Yeah,
I remember it.
about a week I still remember we talked about economic burden in general.
Same here, and honestly, after that, I started thinking how economic issues are connected to bigger global problems.
Exactly. That's actually what I wanted to talk about today. What if we look at economic burden from a bigger perspective, like war, maybe?
Oh, that sounds interesting. And also kind of heavy.
Yeah, but it's important, especially for developing countries like Indonesia.
Right. So today, let's discuss about the economic burden of war on developing countries.
Okay, so maybe we start with a simple question. How does war actually create economic burden?
Well, I think the most obvious one is destruction. War can destroy infrastructure like roads, buildings, and factories. It can make many more damage to our country.
True, and when infrastructure is damaged, economic activity slow down or even stop completely.
Yeah, and that means business cannot operate. So people lose their jobs.
Exactly. So, unemployment increases and people struggle to survive.
And for developing countries like Indonesia, it's even worse because their economy is not as strong as developed countries.
Yeah, totally agree.
I also think war affect government spending.
What do you mean?
Like instead of spending money on education or healthcare, the government has to spend more on military and defense.
Oh yeah, that's true. So public service become weaker, right?
And that creates long-term problems, especially for development.
Exactly. Less investment in education means lower human capital in the future.
And another impact is like inflation. Like during war, the supply of goods can decrease, but the demand stay the same.
So the prices go up.
Yes, and that make basic needs like food and fuel more expensive.
That's really hard for people with low income.
And don't forget about foreign investment. War makes a country look unstable, so investors don't want to invest.
Right, that can reduce economic growth even more.
Also, many people are forced to leave their homes. Refugees and displacement can create additional economic pressure.
Yeah, but for the country experiencing war and the countries receiving refugees.
So the impact is not just local but also global. This is the sad reality if war
Happen.
happen.
Yeah. So, seeing all these impacts, what do you think can be done to reduce the economic burden of war?
Hmm, I think the most important thing is prevention. Avoiding conflict is always better than dealing with the consequence.
I agree. Like diplomacy and international cooperation are really important too.
Yeah, like negotiation instead of violence.
And for countries that are already affected, I think international aid is necessary.
Yeah, like financial support, humanitarian aid, and rebuilding infrastructure.
Also, organizations like the United Nations can play a role in maintaining peace.
But I think internal recovery is also important. Government needs to rebuild their economy step by step.
And maybe focus on sectors that can recover quickly, like agriculture or small business.
That's a good point.
From our perspective as students, maybe we cannot stop war, but we can at least understand its impact.
Yeah, and we also can raise awareness.
Exactly. Because economic burden is not just a personal issue, but also a global issue that we may have to face.
Yeah.
Hmm. And war makes it much more severe, especially for developing countries.
So the key takeaway is war doesn't just destroy our life, but also destroy economic stability.
And also, recovery takes a very long time.
Yeah, sometimes even generation.
Yeah, alright. I think that's a really meaningful discussion to me. That's a very good insight.
Indeed.
Yeah, I learned a lot from this.
Okay, then, thank you for the discussion, guys.
Okay, thank you,
Thank you very
Ale.
much.
Thank you, Zalfa.
Alright, I think that's all from us. Thank you for the discussion, guys.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye bye.
bye.